So, is it a sin for a married woman to use sex toys? Let's say this is inappropriateness. My left hand. My right hand is sin. Masturbation, sex toys. It is inappropriate for a woman who is married to be using sex toys to find sexual pleasure when she has a husband. It's inappropriate for a man to stimulate himself to masturbate when he has a wife. It's not right. If they have issues with sex, they should see a sex therapist who understands the anatomy of the body. Find out why you are not enjoying sex. What is the problem? Is it psychological? Is it physical? Find out and find a solution to it, and then enjoy natural sex between a husband and a wife. So it's inappropriate. When you use sex toys, for the most part, you have fantasies. After a while, a woman that uses sex toys doesn't need her husband for sex anymore. She gets addicted to using sex toys. Now, at some point, because there are some things that sex toys cannot do, and she will desire those things. What are they? A sex toy cannot kiss you. A sex toy cannot hold you. So she will still need someone to hold. Once your husband is not within your sex space, your mind cannot be in a vacuum. Something else has to fill it, or someone else has to fill it. So there's tendency for you to have somebody else fill that space that your husband has left. And then you start thinking of a brother in church, a neighbor, a colleague, a family friend. That is when sin comes in. So we come here. Adultery has come in. Adultery has entered your marriage. Adultery doesn't have to be physical. Adultery can be in the mind. Because you have tendency to fall into sin of adultery, then don't use sex toys. Rather than use sex toys, find a way to resolve with your husband why sex between both of you is not good enough for you to a point whereby you now start using sex toys. But is it a sin? If your fantasies are towards your husband, it's between both of you, you have not committed any sin. Why? Because there is no law that guides sex process or relations with a man and a wife. There is no law anywhere in the Bible. And the Bible says in Romans 4:15, where there is no law, there is no sin. If you read further, Romans 5:13, it says the same thing. Sin is not imputed to you where there is no law. It's not everything that is inappropriate that is a sin. But everything that is a sin is inappropriate. Now, look at it this way. In the cold weather, you want to go out, you're wearing a very light singlet. That's inappropriate dressing. Why is it inappropriate? You could catch cold, you could get a flu, so put on something that will keep you warm. But is it a sin? No, it is not a sin. Just like overspeeding. Overspeeding is inappropriate, it's not right, but it's not a sin. If you overspeed, you could kill somebody, you could kill yourself, you could be arrested and booked. So don't overspeed. But is it a sin? It is not a sin. The mistake many people are making, they are confusing the two. They think because it's inappropriate, then it's a sin. Don't confuse the two. This is sin, this is inappropriate. But there are so many things you don't have to do. I mean, for instance, you are growing older, you have to cut down on sugar for your health. If you don't, you could begin to have some health challenges. So cut down on sugar. But if you take a whole lot of sugar, it doesn't mean that you have committed sin. You won't go to hell because you're taking sugar. If you don't want to have oral sex and all the rest of it, it's fine. Don't have it. I mean, some medical journals say there are health implications. Now, if you're scared of the health implications, then don't do it. If you can sort out the health implications and you're fine, then do it. For myself, I have my preferences. I don't do everything. I have my preferences and I stick to those preferences. So if you have preferences, that's fine. But don't deny yourself of doing it because you think it's a sin. It is not a sin as long as it's in marriage and it's between you and your spouse. And there's no third party. It's just two of you. You can do whatever you like. And you can decide not to do whatever you like as long as it's mutual and you both consent and then everybody is fine. And you live happily ever after. That's the whole point.